This is a Nappy Lady demonstration of the Bumgenius pocket nappy. A pocket nappy is where you have the outer wrap sewn to an inner fleece liner, and this forms a pocket. And this pocket is stuffed with the absorbent nappy pads. Once the nappy is stuffed, there is only one layer to go on baby, so you don't have a separate wrap with this nappy system. This makes it very good for childcare or sort of reluctant cloth nappy users, because it's no different to a disposable nappy. There is literally just one layer to put on baby. Other features of the Bumgenius nappy: there are 3 poppers on the outside of the nappy, and these are to reduce the overall length so that the nappy can fit a small baby. So for a newborn, you'd popper all down to the lowest section, and that makes the nappy much shorter. As baby grows, you would undo these poppers and use the middle popper, so it just shortens it slightly. Okay, so you've got that little bit of extra length now, so that's where I used the bottom layer of poppers before. And eventually you would undo all the poppers and have the nappy at the full length. The Bumgenius fastens with Velcro, and you can also cross over the tabs. You've got extra pieces of Velcro here, so if you've got a very small baby, you can cross them over to make the waist much smaller. Inside the nappy, you've also got laundry tabs, so when you take off the soiled nappy, if you get in the habit of folding the tabs back, this keeps the Velcro clean and stops it sticking to other nappies, and it stops it picking up any fluff in the machine. The Bumgenius comes with 2 microfiber pads. The small one is a newborn pad, and that's literally just for the first couple of weeks until baby's approximately 9 pounds. It's not sort of the most absorbent pad, but for a newborn baby you're changing so frequently, you don't need a bulkier pad. The larger pad that you would use for the majority of the time also comes with poppers that run along the length. There's 3 there, so when you've got the nappy in the shortest setting, you would shorten the pad, shortest length. When the nappy is in your medium setting, you wouldn't use the medium popper. And when the nappy is in the longest setting, you'd have the pad at the full length. I'll show you what it looks like in the newborn setting. So popper them down. In here, just lift up this bit inside and reveals the pocket, and you literally just stuff it in. It hasn't got to be really neat, as long as it's just flat inside. And with the pocket nappy, it's always best that once your nappies are dry, is to stuff them at that time. So when you come to change baby and you've got them on the change mat, you've not got to sort of be stuffing every nappy, it's all there ready to go. So that's the nappy in the smallest setting for a newborn. So it's not a particularly bulky nappy, particularly for a newborn baby. Because there's only one layer to this nappy system, the nappy system is more prone to leaks than a 2-part nappy, which is where you have a nappy and then a separate wrap. This is because if anything gets past sort of the nappy legs or waist, the next layer everything's going to hit is going to be baby's clothes. This is just the same as a disposable nappy. Again, if anything gets past the disposable, it will be on baby's clothes. And the Bumgenius will perform better than a disposable nappy because it's got strong elastic, much stronger than a disposable product. In the early days, you might like to consider using folded muslins fastened with a nappy nipper and then this wrap over the top, because then you will have a better containment. Put the absorbent pad in to put the neck size up. There we go. So just fold that down. No hard and fast rule as to whether you put the folded section at the front or the folded section at the back when you pop it in. As a rule of thumb, generally I say if you've got a boy, use the folded section at the front, and if you've got a girl, you could keep the folded bit at the back, but you can really sort of depends on your baby. In there. So putting the more absorbent pad in there makes it slightly bulkier, but gives you longer absorbency. Being a birth to potty nappy, there is always a compromise on fit. A birth to potty nappy will always be bulkier on a small baby than if you used a size nappy system where you'd have a size 1 for a small baby and then you'd use the size 2 for an older child. The Bumgenius is also an average length nappy, so if you do end up with a very tall or chunky toddler, you may find that they outgrow it before potty training. It's also worth bearing in mind, if you're considering a pocket nappy system, that if you're planning to have more children, if a pocket nappy is used full time, it's unlikely to last more than one child. The reason for this is that when you change a soiled nappy, the whole nappy system has to be washed. That's the pad and the wrap. You have to wash both sections. You can't reuse this throughout the day. The whole thing has to be washed. Whereas with a shaped nappy system, you would only replace the nappy and you'd use the separate wrap again. So with the pocket nappy, the pocket is the most sort of delicate part because it's got the waterproofing inside, and it will get a huge amount of washes for one child. I mean, the average is that a child will go through 5,500 nappy changes from birth to potty, so that's potentially a huge amount of wear onto the waterproofing. Because the Bumgenius is fully fleece lined, in theory you don't have to use any other liner, but for a pre-weaned baby or a baby going to childcare, I'd recommend that you still use a paper liner inside, as this makes getting rid of solids much easier. Of all the paper liners available, the Bumgenius liner we find is the best one because it fits neatly inside the nappy without you having to cut it down at all.